All right, so we are back, episode number 13 here of the No BS Show. I'm here with my business partner, Jason Reese, the CFO of the company. He handles all the back end side of the business, and has definitely been very instrumental to our rapid growth that we've had these past 4 years. So welcome to the show, Jason. Pleasure to have you.
Appreciate it, man. Been watching these since the beginning and finally got asked to be on the show with my business partner, so it's pretty
took
nice.
a couple times, he's a little bashful at times, but we decided to at least coordinate our outfits for the show, so can't go wrong with that, right? So today we're going to be talking about goal planning, and it's a new year, new opportunities. All of us have our New Year's resolutions and our goals, and there's a specific approach that you personally take and that we kind of went through at the beginning of Riverside. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for me, I'm a big New Year's resolution guy. I've always tried to pick one thing to really focus on for that year. Typically just kind of, I know it's not the best way to do it, but new year, start on that first Monday. 2016, as everyone knows, I went sober for the full year.
Yeah, an entire year. That was really impressive.
That was my big thing, was no alcohol.
Yeah.
2017, I kind of lost that a little bit, but 2018, I had some goals that I was able to do, but 2019, I've really kind of got back on that, set some goals. One was to run 80 miles a month, so I'm going to try and join that 1,000-mile running club this year. But just having that basic goal and then really digging deep and figuring out kind of what we do with the Riverside stuff this last week was how to hit that goal, how to stay accountable, how many people do you need to help make that goal a reality. So use the SMART program there, where basically just dug into the specifics of the goal.
Yeah.
Write it down, make sure that you're able to measure it. I guess we should probably go over to what SMART is.
So SMART goal planning, and that's I think where a lot of people go wrong is with goal setting. They just have a goal, there's not really a why behind it or really a plan of attack. So like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to go on this new diet, or I'm going to go sober, I'm never drinking again, or whatever it might be. But they don't really have a plan of attack once they make the goal. And that's one of the cool things that, with this system and, really going through the SMART goal planning that, really makes it powerful, and it helps to actually make it work. With smart goal planning, that goes through the specific, measurable, assigned, right?
Yep.
And then timeliness.
And realistic.
Realistic and then timeliness. Turns out you got to learn how to spell, right? Not very smart on my part. But with that, let's kind of walk through that. So the S stands for
specific.
Okay.
So basically writing out the specific goal. So whether it's, like for me, the run 80 miles, that's the specific goal. But what is it specifically that I'm going to do in order to get that 80 miles a month? So for me, I broke it down to weekly. So I'm going to run 20 miles a week in order to hit that goal. And then even more specific than that, I set up the days on how many miles I'm going to run each day in the week to hit that 20.
Okay.
So that's really how, and you can do that for anything. I know that one of our goals with Riverside here is to open up that office in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Again, it's bigger than just the office in Cincinnati. We had to go over the wiring for the internet, the phones, the tables, the computers, business insurance, license, all that stuff.
Exactly.
So it's a big goal, and then very specific.
Yeah, you start with the big picture, and then you really take a deep dive and get down into the weeds and really go through everything that's involved with it, So kind of like you said there, one of the things that, on my end I do a lot with the reps is, how much do you want to make each year, and how much, and then you have to reverse engineer that and kind of go through what all you have to do, kind of like with the running, break it down by month, by week, and then by day. Kind of same thing there, how many doors are you going to knock, how many people are you going to talk to hit that goal. And with whatever it is, whether it's business, sales, opening a new office, a new diet, running a certain amount, losing a certain amount of weight, you got to get have that big picture goal, and then why you want to accomplish that goal, and then get really specific with it. Because if you don't, it's going to be very hard to attain that. Especially as the goal gets bigger, that's when you have to get even more and more specific with it, because those bigger goals and loftier goals are harder and harder to hit.
For sure.
So,
and then obviously the next one's measurable. So making sure that there's a way to track it. So for me with the running, I guess that one's a no-brainer, easy. I wear a watch. I can track the miles. It tells me how many miles I wear or run each day, each week, by month. So pretty easy. Obviously, with the Cincinnati thing, I think we set some pretty good goals that are measurable with we need to have X, Y, and Z done by certain days so that we can measure those. We can look back and say, okay, we're supposed to get this done by March 1st. Whether did or we didn't. If we don't, then we need to focus on that to get it done as quick as possible. So
exactly, and that's the key thing with tracking. And with that, you have to make sure you write it down. You can't just think about it or talk about it. You actually have to break that big picture down, right? Everything that's involved with achieving that, and then have those due dates on it, or those assignments, which kind of leads into the next part of the goal setting. And that way you can have those due dates because there's no deadline and there's no urgency behind it, or you don't have to get it done by a certain point. You're not going to be able to do it. Your natural reaction is, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week. And, that's one of the most important things, once you get specific with it, is making sure you have those deadlines because you got to hold yourself accountable somehow and you got to track it, right?
For sure.
So.
Yep, and so with the assignment, obviously with the running one, it's assigned to me. I'm the only one doing it.
Personal goal, right?
If anyone wants to help me run my miles, that'd be great. But with the business side of stuff, we had specific people in every area that we've assigned those jobs to. So, getting desks is going to be one guy. You and I are working on the office. Yep. We got Mark working on the business side of stuff and the registered agents. So team effort on that. So when you have those bigger goals or team goals, make sure you assign it to one person so you can hold them accountable and you guys can hold each other accountable.
Yeah, exactly. So, with your personal goals, involve, your wife, your girlfriend, your kids if you have them, and then, on the business side, obviously, when you're building your business on that side of things, make sure that you have your team, let them know what the goals are and what the plan is and have them help you with it. The more people you have on board helping you with the goals and helping you to accomplish them, the more advocates you have, the more people on your team, the easier it's going to be. On those hard days where you're like, I don't really want to get up and run, or I don't really want to do that, you're going to have somebody there to help ensure that you accomplish it and you don't miss your target or miss your deadline or your goal. So that's, always involve others and get them, on board and go through that plan with you. And again, make sure you write it down with the due date and then who's assigned to it. And, make sure that they fully understand, if they're involved with, making, attaining that goal, that they know it and they get that that's the deadline on their side of things as well.
For sure. And then the next thing is make them realistic. So for me, this was one of the ones I struggled with the running thing. Originally, my plan was, okay, if I run 3 miles a day for the whole year, I'll get that 1,000-mile club. And that just wasn't realistic. I'm not going to run every single day. There's going to be days where I'm tired, sore, too busy, whatever it is, kid stuff. So that's where I had to kind of go back and really fine-tune that specific goal and make it realistic with, okay, I'm going to have rest days. I'm going to run probably 6 miles some days, 5 miles another, probably take 2 days off here, vacation, wherever. But just make sure that I can get those 20 miles in the week, and that's where that realistic that goal comes from. So, if it's a weight loss thing, make it 20 pounds. Make sure you can hit the goal, make it 30 pounds. A lot of people I want to lose 100 pounds. Like, that might not happen. That might happen in 3 years, 1 year, whatever. But make those goals, big enough that you have to work for them, but not so far unrealistic that they're just not attainable. That's kind of how, in the past for me, I lose focus when I make a goal and I get to October, November, and I'm super far away from that goal. And if I'm at 100 miles in October, I'm not going to run 900 miles in 2 months to make that. So definitely has to be realistic, and that I think it's been something that I've gotten better at for my own goal setting is making them something that I can actually achieve with a little bit of effort.
Yeah, and that's something that we've done really well to balance out, because with me, I'm all about setting super lofty goals that are a little bit crazy at times. Which a lot of times it can work out, but we always balance out, because kind of the realistic aspect of it, and usually we end up meeting in the middle on the goal setting for the business side of things, and that's something that's really led to our success, and why we've worked so well together and why we've been able to grow this fast is I'm super over the top crazy with it at times, and then he kind of comes in with the numbers like and we kind of always kind of break it down and meet in the middle there, which is you got to have that balancing act and someone to be there for you and with you so you can help attain those and make sure that it is realistic and you can get all the team on board and everybody can get excited about it, and that's a key part of it. So make sure that you have that, and that goes back to sharing your goals and making other people aware of it too, to help you hold yourself accountable, and then let you know, like, no, it's not really possible, or this and that. But again, make sure you're sharing it. Make sure they're realistic. Definitely lofty. Reach for it, like you said. Make sure they're big enough where you have to work for them. Because you don't want to be an easy goal. I'm going to lose 5 pounds. You do it in like a month, and then
or a week, and you're done. You gain it back.
Exactly.
Yep, for sure.
So that's a key part of it there as well.
Yep. And then the last one is timely. So obviously with the New Year's resolutions, it's typically a year thing, but with this, it's for me, it's timely in the sense that I set it kind of per month. So every month at the end of the month, I can look back and say, okay, I hit my goal this month, part of this bigger goal. So if you have some of those goals, you want to lose weight, maybe 50 pounds in the year, then first quarter, you're going to want to say lose 15. So have those timestamps on certain dates where you can kind of check in and really judge where you're at with that goal.
Yeah.
Similar to what we're doing with Cincinnati. I mean, ideally our goal to have that up and running by April 1st. We're going out there in February.
Yep.
Set some goals to have things in place by March 1st, and then March 15th, and then obviously by April 1st. So we'll be able to look at each one of those dates and kind of gauge whether we're going to open on April 1st, knowing that's the big goal. But we have all those other timestamps in place to keep us accountable.
And we've broken down and written down with the due dates and, kind of with the goal of April 1st, who's doing what each week and the due date of that assignment. So, we're always working on something every single week to make sure that we achieve that goal. That's where the timeliness ties directly in to the assignment and then who's responsible for it. And if it's specific enough and you have it broken down, it's super easy, where you can come in each week. All right, here's what I got to get done. Here's what it is. No matter what, I'm working on this till it gets done. And that's kind of the big thing that you have to focus on is, when you have the assignment and you get specific with it and you have the due date, you got to make sure you follow through with it. And that's about taking action at that point, right? You can have all the goals in the world, but if you don't act on it and you're not timely with it, it's a waste of time. You're wasting your time and energy and your thoughts on it. So make sure that you have that timeliness and you take action. And make sure you're consistent with it. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have those tough days where, again, you don't want to do it, and even a tough week. But you got to make sure that you pull it together, and that's where make sure you have them written down when you're specific and somewhere you can see them, whether it's on your phone, whether you have it hanging on your fridge, at your house, screensaver, whatever it might be. Make sure it's always in front of you and you have that powerful why behind why you want to achieve that, because that really helps make sure that the smart goal planning works. So again, that can be for business, for personal goals. It really works with anything. So, definitely take a deep dive on that. It's not too late to start. Obviously we're already after the first of the year, but you can start your smart goal planning at any time, any day of the week, any month of the year. So if you didn't have a New Year's resolution or you didn't have a plan for the year, hey, start now. Make sure that's something that you can, just get going. Take the weekend, take the night, think about it, put some good thought into it, write it down, and piece something together. And it's a lot easier than you think. A lot of people think it's hard to put something together like this.
It is. It's definitely a lot easier. I think one of the most important things too with this is including others on it, or at least putting it out there that you have these goals. So I know, like for me, I shared it with a friend, and one of the things that she challenged me on towards the end was kind of a slogan that you can write about the goal. So you make all these goals, and then I'll know I hit my goal when X, Y, and Z. So I'll know I hit my goal when I reach 1,000 miles. Yeah. Or, if it's, I'll know I hit my goal when I look a certain way, or we open the office and we have our first employees come in there in Cincinnati. So that's something that I think really helps, is writing that one sentence, like I know I hit my goal when, and also sharing it with other people, because I think a lot of people will make these goals, keep them private. They'll look at them, and then once they get off track, they don't have anyone helping them get back on track or doing it with them. And I've told probably 15 people that I'm doing this running thing, and turns out there's probably another 3 or 4 of my friends that are also trying to run, maybe not 1,000 miles, but run more. Adam here at the office is going to run a marathon. He thinks he's running a half, but he's going to run a marathon with me. So shout out to Adam for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's great. I mean, we'll be able to hold each other accountable on this running thing and training together, hopefully a few days a month. And I think that's just another great way to stay on the right track and keep your goals always in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing with that too, kind of like you said, is I know I hit this goal when, or I know I will win. Kind of one of the things we did on the business side is we already have the pictures of some of the offices that we were looking at for there. So we have those already printed out, ready to go, and we know we'll achieve our goal when we get those keys and we have those people moving into our office there. But making sure you have that written down, and then try and things that are visual. Most people are visual learners, and a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So trying to attach a picture to that as well, so that you can kind of see it. A lot of people do like a vision board or something to that effect, but it can be something as just as simple as one picture for each one of the goals to really help yourself visualize yourself achieving it, which makes it that much more powerful as well as writing it down. So take it a step further with that, and again, it's a lot easier than you think it is to do this goal planning. So yeah, just take some action, have some fun with it, and you'll be amazed at the results if you do that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's going to conclude our episode today here on the No BS Show, episode number 13 with my business partner, Jason Reese. So thank you.
His leg every time he said partner.
Got to have some fun with it, right? So, as always, be money, be great, make it a great day, and have a lot of fun out there, everybody.